you and I have talked a lot about this before, but focusing on tap into the EAP and take a yoga class and come up with your own self-management approach to being well shifts the onus from leaders and the organization to create cultures that are rooted in mental health and wellness and well-being to the individual to respond to workplace forces that are causing some of the challenges that are being experienced in the first place, but also doesn't address that leader behavior often is a cause of what brings on mental health challenge activation. I can see the emojis are flying in this moment. And so, can you talk about why this reframe and how we have been doing mental health programming is so important for this difficult moment, and then tie it to define what you mean by intersectional mental health?
So, how do you help people with the specific situation specific coping strategies they need without making downloading the challenge to the individual and making an individual problem when it's actually the workplace that's contributing to the conditions that create people's challenges and problems. So I work a lot with first responders. With you know this, I just presented to a bunch of like 600 women in law enforcement, and it was it's a perfect example. The environment is going to be incredibly challenging. So how do you not make it about the individual's grit and understand that the environment the work context is challenging? And I would say this is why we double down in this programming, because it's a both and. You can't just do a one-off and make it about well-being or whatever, some loose, very high-level topic. It requires nuance and skill to both to offer people the full range of skills and tools and advice that is needed, and it's different targeted programming to different audiences. So your leaders need to know about how they contribute to mental health and well-being. Your people who are who are the ones that have noted in their engagement scores that they have low psychological safety or that there's high stress in the workplace need to be given strategies of what to do when you're having a panic attack or you're feeling panic. And it's not about mental illness. It's and this is the point, if I was going to say anything, we're all experiencing it. I'm experiencing panic attacks right now. I'm experiencing anxiety right now. You do not have to have a mental health problem to be having these challenges. It could be perimenopause, could be stress, who knows? We all need the strategies. And so it's a bit of a both and in making sure that you have the right type of programming and that you seek advice so that you don't miss the mark. What I mean by intersectional mental health is
And Komal,
looking.
just a moment. In the chat board, what Komal just shared, does that resonate with you? Can you just throw in a yes, no somewhat so that we know you're tracking? I saw emojis come in, but I think it's such an important point. Basically, leaders, you must own mental health and wellness in the workplace, not shift it to the individual team member. Okay.
Yeah. And yeah, and the targeted training support for your different audiences based on what they need. Um, Intersectional mental health, in the context that I'm using it, is taking a look at how people's identities factor in to how they experience their mental health, how they would qualify or categorize their mental health. So, are you able to look at your data across gender, across racial groups, if you have enough, if you have that, collect that data, if you across tenure within the organization, across types of roles or departments. That gives you greater data and insight into what's happening. And importantly, in moments where we're feeling the threats to DEI, being able to share that we have greater mental health challenges amongst these communities that work in our organization is really, really helpful in support of continuing to double down and lean into and support DEI initiatives.